Hello, hello, it's that time we've all been waiting for. It's Season 7, Round 1 is here at Austria today. We've got the top of the pile, Tier 1. I'm joined here today by Chappers. How's it going, mate? This is Round 1, Season 7. I can't wait. What about yourself?
I can't wait either. It's going to be an absolute phenomenal race and a great season opener for the Tier 1 guys and for prospects on the PlayStation.
Yeah, it is indeed, and we're straight into qualifying. It's 18 minutes of qualifying here at this Austrian circuit. So far, it does look pretty dry out there, but a bit of cloud covering over the hills of the forest there in the background, just waiting for people to load in now. I hope everyone is here, excited. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that they do have a website as well. Go check it out. It is in the chat right now of Esports Prospects PlayStation Tier 1. It's the top tier. It's the fastest that prospects do, and we're going to see some fast times. What do you think Pole's going to be here today with the new game? Don't forget, we had a patch update today. Could that affect people's setups? Could they have been scrambling for how they do their tire temperatures? Because it's quite a big performance upgrade that we've had today. What do you think, Chappers?
It's going to be certainly an interesting one because the times I've noticed, even on time trials for Austria, are so close. I think the top 20% are filled by about a second. So I think with 20 drivers all very, very close to each other on pace, I do feel that the timings we're going to see are going to be extremely close, and we're probably going to be definitely in the 104s for sure, maybe touching close to the 103s. But we will see once the drivers get out on track. As Bingram has retired from the session due to having the qualifying ban for this race for an incident in the last race of the season.
And there's no messing about today. We have got a lot of drivers out on track straight away. I believe it could be the Haas car of SAFC Fudge. He's going to be the first across the line to set his hot lap, but he's got a trail of cars behind him. Now then, this year there is no you don't have to start on the tyre you got fastest if you're in the top 10. So you'll find that a lot of these guys now will be absolutely blasting the softs to get the fastest they can go, and most of these guys, what do you think, going to start on the mediums? Maybe we may see some split strategy going on the hards. It's going to be interesting how they use that sort of strategy. I know this year the hard compound tyre does take a long time to get up to temperature. Is that worth the gamble starting off with the pack there? I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out and see. But it will be the Haas car, SFC Fudge, who's going to be first across that line to set his hot lap. He's going to set the benchmark. Who's going to talk us through this one? Do you want to do it?
I will definitely. Let me just head over to Fudge.
He goes across the line, and I'll take you. Go on, go for it.
Fudge is now starting his first flying lap of the session, and the first of the whole 30 goes through turn 1, getting it nicely through hitting the DRS button pretty nice as well. Coming down now the first long straight of this Red Bull Ring circuit, braking hard now into turn 3. Locking up a little bit there and running a bit wide there, and I believe that's his lap finish, but he probably will carry on just to set a anchor lap as he hits the DRS. Once more coming down the second of the back straights at this track. Ending up 190 miles an hour, braking hard into turn 4, coming up to the twistier middle section of this circuit now. Let's see what he'll do through here. Switching through, going down the gears through turn 5, and now turn 6. Full acceleration now as he comes towards the end of the lap, coming up to the penultimate corner of this lap. We're expecting the time to be a little bit off pace due to the lock-up in turn 3. Hitting it nicely through the penultimate corner, switching down a couple of gears to the last corner and flying out of the last corner onto the front straight and setting a original pole of 108.1, which I'm sure is going to be beaten as QRT Robbie flies through with a 104.8, who sets the first banker lap.
It is a 104.8 is a very good lap from the Ferrari driver. Mwikwi then is coming across the line in the Alfa Romeo. What is he going to do? Is a 105. So the only guy out there at the minute on the 104 is QRT Robbie. We're going to go on the McLaren of Wally then, as the times are coming thick and fast. The track is absolutely chock-a-block out there, but we're going to hold ourselves on with Wally then. Round the last corner, here goes the DRS wide open. What is Wally going to put in there? It's only a 1:05.9 for Wally. What is his teammate? CPI Forza coming through sector 1 so far. He's got traffic out in front, but looks like they've got it away nicely for him. Hard on the braking here at the 100-meter board. Keeps it tight to the apex. Little lock up there. We heard the screeching of the tyres, and once again, the guy's struggling to get that traction down. Is that the difference between this performance package that we've had today? People are going to be struggling, I feel, for the traction. I believe watching PC Tier 1 earlier, there are a lot of guys, a lot of people spinning around on this track, and what a track to have round 1 on. Hey, chappers.
Oh, definitely. It's an incredible circuit, in my opinion. So fast. I think you're on full throttle for about 70% of the lap, I believe, on the run there. So it's certainly a track to open it with times that are probably going to be very, very close coming towards the end of this qualifying session, as Hemi actually just comes through to finish his first lap of the session, who I was just on board with, and he sets a 1:06.8. So currently, really,
lap there for him, but on board with CPI Troye then. Now, he was a contender for last season. What can he do? Although he looks like he's taking another warm-up there as he's weaving down the straight. So maybe it may not be a timed run. Maybe he's going for an extra lap on those tires. We've seen it a lot in the real-life racing. These guys taking an extra lap just to get those tyres up to temperatures. Do we see it in the real-life racing? Is that what we're going to do now in the game? Is Troye got the jump on everyone else here and taking another lap out of these tyres just to get them right in the temperature? And it looks like he is.
I am just about to go on board with CPI Troye, as he is now about to start his flying lap, as he is full on the throttle now. He was certainly doing 2 out laps for his first flying lap of the session, as he goes with the 1:28. Definitely an out lap for him, as he is now starting his first flying lap, coming through turn 1 actually very, very nicely there. Let's see what he can produce through this first sector here. He does a 16.2 seconds through the first sector, 18 seconds underneath his time, which, as expected, is going to happen. So I wonder. CPI Troye actually was on pole a few times last season, I believe, as well, wasn't he?
He was one of those drivers that was there and then he wasn't there, and then he was there. He was like, he's very good at certain tracks, and then he's around on others. But the tracks that he is good at, he's absolutely good at, and I think that's why he took a couple of wins last year, and maybe a couple of poles as well. So he is definitely one to watch out for. But obviously, last year's champion is the one to beat. And he has set the benchmark there with a 1:04.8. Can anywhere go anywhere near it? No. Ooh. Troye then backs out of that one again and goes straight into the pits.
He was actually, I believe it came up with it being a purple sector through the second sector there, so he was on a very good lap. I think he just ran a little bit wide through that, coming out of that penultimate corner, and just said, nope, I'm going to bring this into the pits.
So then riding on board with NLFR, NLR Liam, QCL Alex puts in a 1:06 in the other Red Bull. Sorry, Cameron puts in a 1:05.5 we've just seen in the Red Bull. But what can NLR Liam come in with? A very good driver is Liam. What can he put in then with this new job? It looks like he may have been validated, but he didn't. How he's got away with that is beyond me. But there he goes. Now it's not going to be a 1:04. It's a 1:05.9. So not a great lap time from Liam. I'm pretty sure there's time there to be had on that Red Bull for sure.
Definitely. I'm just on board now with Spider-Man F1, who is about to start his flying lap. Spider-Man currently not set a lap in this qualifying section at the moment, with 10 minutes of the session remaining. See if he can pull a lap together now, as he's just come through the first corner of this Red Bull Ring circuit.
So DRS open then in the Williams car. Spider-Man F1, a guy that does have pace, around about the midfield he was last year, but he did come out with absolute belters. Everyone seems to be struggling with the traction out of that turn. The high revs are flying and the rear end's spinning out, and it's just getting that power on, getting that balance to where you're getting that grip, but you're getting the most out of that car. He gets a little bit of a wobble on there with the rear end, and that's going to affect him maybe by a couple of tenths. But is he going to continue with this lap? It looks like he's given up, and everyone's struggling still out there with this new upgrade package.
Definitely. I have found that these cars just seem that, as well, like happened with last year's game as well, I believe, that there was an update about 3 weeks after the release of 21, and everything just changed with setups, how the car handled and felt when driving it. So I do think a lot of these guys will be using setups that were for how the cars used to feel before this patch earlier on today. And I mean, what a time for a patch to come to the game where it's almost completely changed how these cars perform right as the season starts. So very unfortunate for drivers really that are going to have to almost get to grips with it, because it feels like a totally new game in my opinion now. So going to be certainly interesting for these tier 1 guys.
The Aston Martin then of Optic goes well wide and just lucky to keep it on the track there, to keep it all facing forward. Now then is the lone Aston Martin out there, because Bingram does have a penalty from last season brought forward to this one. So he's going to go again, but we'll move on to Sam Flea, who is still yet to set a lap time here in the AlphaTauri car, and he's coming through sector 2 now, the long straight with the DRS zone. He's got traffic in front of his teammate. Now I wonder if the teammate did give him a bit of a boost down the straight. I don't know if he's a little bit too far ahead for that, but he's coming through now the end of sector 2. Let's have a look at his time as his teammate rightfully gets out of the way, but it just doesn't look like he's hammering it, does it?
It doesn't seem like he's been able to get to grips with his car leading up to this race, and it does look very, very twitchy, does that AlphaTauri at the moment. As he is coming across the line now, let's see what he can do, and he jumps into 14th ahead of GC Alex, who was actually, I think he finished 3rd in the standings last season, didn't he?
Whoa, Troy A gets disqualified for blocking the pit lane. He was just in there after turn 1. He was facing sideways out of the pit exit. God knows what happened to Troy A, but Troy A couldn't get a lap together, and then he finds himself facing sideways after turn 1, and he's now disqualified. He'll be starting at the back of the grid. Unfortunate for Troy A here at Austria for round 1.
Such unfortunate luck there, as Patty said there, for Troy A. There's nothing you could do about that. He probably span out of turn 1 and it sends him into the pit lane, and the game goes, nope, we're disqualifying you. So it's happened to a few drivers before, and it's just very frustrating when that happens, because there's nothing that you can do there, and he's, as Patty said, he's now found himself at the back of the grid for the opening round for this season.
Yeah, such a shame for Troy A, but yeah, no, he's backed out, he's disqualified. I'm looking at Sins here. He seems to be a new driver for PlayStation Tier 1, and he's comfortably in 4th place at the minute. King David in the Mercedes as well, who is on a hot lap, not quite ahead of his time through sector 2, and he goes and bins it! On a hot lap, pretty much level going through sector 2, and he's lucky to not get any damage. We got it on camera, but that was very, very unfortunate.
Very, very unfortunate indeed. And I'm also now currently on board with QC Alex. He's just coming into the pits. He's backed out of the lap, I believe. QC Alex into the pits, but I believe that P6 is also on the board, the Alfa Romeo driver, CVI Troyer's teammate. Literally, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he is currently on a good lap, just underneath his time.
Okay.
And now he is coming through the middle sector of this lap.
Who are we watching?
He is P6 of Mitsui. He is currently coming to the end of the lap. He's just under 0.1 underneath his time. Now as he goes to the penultimate corner.
Where can he get it? It was looking around about 4th. Can he put it on the second row then, Chappers, as he comes through the last turn, keeps it all together? What is it going to be then from Mitsui? The Alfa Romeo driver puts it 3rd, a 105.2. Still, no one in the 104s, bar Robbie.
Yeah, I was expecting to see a lot of drivers being to the 104s, to be fair, but I must have been mistaken currently. But with 5 minutes to go, we could see a few drivers sneak into those 104s.
Yes,
they're on their last line lap.
The tyres are rubbing down the track, and you see a lot more rubber on the track. There's going to be absolutely carnage out there. All the drivers going to be out. The track is going to be full. Now, it's not a very big track, is Austria, so the track can very much get busy, and it's you've got to be very careful not to get in each other's way. People are on hot laps, people on out laps, and people on in laps. Like, it's very difficult. It can be very difficult out there, can't it, chaps?
It can definitely, and also when people are on their outlaps, as you said, they're going to be. I've just been on board with Optic, and he was on his outlap, and he gets the power down too early, trying to warm his tyres up, and he has spanned through the middle sector. And as I said there, he was on an outlap and spins, and there's probably a driver that was just coming through in the background. I didn't quite catch who it was, but they were on a flying lap, I believe, and then that may have just hindered them slightly, distracted them. So, as you said there, when the track's busy, that sort of thing can happen when drivers spinning out, even on outlaps, and
yep, indeed.
maybe putting some drivers off.
On board then with Pirate, our last year Tier 1 champion, up with the big boys this year. He's in the Ferrari, currently 9th place with a 105.5, coming through the last sector, and it doesn't look like he's gonna. No, he's gonna go bugger that. We're gonna go in. We're going to put another set of tyres on and get out for one last run. He's in 9th place, you know, remember he's last year's champion, Tier 2, at 105.5, not the best lap in the world, but he's holding his own, you know. 9th place in the top half of the grid. And not a bad showing so far for him, you know, for him, his first experience in the Tier 1 season. So, fair play to him. If he's coming back in for some tyres, let's see what he can do when he comes back out. So keep an eye on the last year's champion, Pirate in rehab. Let's see what he can do, as now everyone is now gearing themselves up for their last run. As we've got yellow flags through Sector 1 and Sector 2 and 3. I believe that's just an Aston Martin getting out of the way. Slins then. Right on board with Slins. Take it over, chaps.
Slins, no problem. We head over to him now as he comes out of turn 1. Flying down the back straight. Let's see what he can pull through on his first sector time now, as he is just over his time by 25 thousandths of a second, braking hard into turn 3. Hitting the apex nicely there, and not very screwily there, as one of the McLarens, who is that there, I couldn't quite catch it, but we're staying on board with Sins here, as he is now braking into turn 4. Hitting the apex nicely there, getting the power down. You can see again, that AlphaTauri looking quite stable to be fair this lap. So, a little bit of a lock up. Is he lucky like that there, because the engine seems to cut out. He's 0.1 over his time currently. Runs onto the red there, trying to use all of those track limits as he can, keeping the lap invalidated currently as well. He's backed out.
Down, I don't think he's got enough time to go back in. That's it. He's done. Sins is done. He hasn't got enough time to get in and out. He's got no fuel left. So that is Sins' qualifying session over and done with. But keep an eye on midway. David on the outlap. QRT Robbie's not comfortable with the 104.7, and he is going out on an outlap now. A lot of drivers out on their outlap now, but we're going to go on Sam Flea, who is currently coming through now, Sector 1. And no, he's invalidated that as well, straight off the bat. Optic, a 108. He's got to put himself a good time in as well. And this is his last chance here then of the Aston Martin, the lone Aston Martin driver out there today, as we see Hamron getting disqualified as well for blocking the pit lane. I think people are binning. Optic! No. He just can't get it right out there today. And what we saw in the PC Tier 1, we're seeing right here at the top tier in PlayStation as well. A lot of people struggling with traction.
It is plain to see that the traction is an issue for some drivers here today, with a lot of drivers spinning out of that turn 1. So we may even see some drivers, other drivers that haven't done it quite yet in this qualifying session, potentially spin out in that, in the race coming up very shortly.
So then the Mercedes driver of King David has backed out as well. He's invalidated. He was half a tenth up on his time in 4th, and he's invalidated as well. What can we do? He's up on his time through Sector 1. The Alfa Romeo driver currently in 3rd place with 105.2, but still half a second away from our provisional pole sitter, which is Robbie. Is he going to improve by enough? Can anyone get anywhere near Robbie? Can Equazer going through Sector 2 as well? We're right on board with Mitty, and then we'll go straight on Equazer. But a lot of guys really balling the last chances here in qualifying. It's making it to an interesting last few minutes. That's qualifying done with. Everyone out on track now on hot laps, riding on board with the Alfa Romeo driver, Obix Mitwi, coming through the last sector here. And what can he achieve here, coming through the last 2 turns? Keeps it nice and together now, just in with the track limits, and it's the last turn. It looks good. How good is it going to be? It's not in the 104s, but he goes 3rd fastest there. On just short of Equazer. Equazer then coming through as well. Already a 10th up on his time. Come through the last turn. What is he going to do? Crossing the line. DRS open. And it's a 104.9. The second driver in the 104.9s. But it's not pole position.
Oh, I've just been on board with King David as he was coming to the end of his lap, and he has spun. Just as he was coming to the end of Sector 2, and he was a quarter of a second over his time, so wasn't
Liam has followed him in as well, chappers. Liam has followed him in. That's two drivers followed him in, and I believe that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Qualifying is ended. And what a way to finish. Drivers flying off the track, left, right and centre. We couldn't keep up. There was more drivers off track than on track towards the end. Great stuff.
Yeah, great stuff. Great action there from the Tier 1 guys who opened this season for the first qualifying for the PlayStation tiers. And yeah, some phenomenal times put through, especially by Robbie and Equation getting into the 104s.
Okay, so qualifying over and done with then. We'll be back in 2 seconds where we will give you the results, and it'll be the 50% race up next. So then, qualifying is done with QRT Robbie at the top of the pile here with a 104.7. Second, Equator, Mitwee third, Hemi in fourth, King David fifth, Sins in sixth, QC Alex seventh, NLR Liam eighth, ninth is Walling. Rounding off the top 10 is a Pirate in rehab.
11th, we have got Total Carney with Tintoretto in 12th, Fudge in 13th, Sam in 14th, Spider-Man 15th, Optic 16th, Bing Ran 17th, Cameron, Rosam and Troye rounding off the grid with the disqualifications from this qualifying session.
What a qualifying that was towards the end of that qualifying. The guys were pushing it hard. And yeah, a lot of guys ended up being off the track than on the track in that last session. It was we had the David of the Mercedes go off, and then we had the Red Bull of Liam almost follow straight into him. And it was crazy scenes there on the last part of that qualifying. But there it is, our last year's champion setting the benchmark once again with a 104.7. What a lap time that is from QRT Rob, especially with the performance package upgrade that we've had today. You've got to adjust yourself, you know, when they've reset the lobbies, when they've reset the leaderboards, you know that the performance package is big. You know what I mean? Like they did it last year. And it was incredible change with the way it handled the performance. And for these guys to like take that update today and still manage to get a 104.7, that's brilliant stuff, isn't it, chaps?
It certainly is, and it's just because how they've had to have adapted so quickly to this new performance package and jumped straight into a very, very important race for them. So it's phenomenal job by everybody on the grid today, I should say.
Definitely is. Dizzy then in the background doing everything he can to make the streams work well. We've got 47 of you in right here tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hook us up with a follow and go check out the website. This broadcast goes on ESTV where over 500,000 people have watched last season, which is absolutely crazy numbers. So we look forward to the future with esports prospects eRacing League, shall we say. And we're glad to have you here riding on board with the top of the group. It's Tier 1 and it's 50% race coming next here at Austria with QRT Robbie taking the lead.
Guys are now just starting their formation lap as they'll warm up those tyres as best as they can. Let's see what the tyres actually they are running currently. So if you want to run through the tyres for what these guys are running, Pat,
yeah, very interesting tyre choices from these guys. Most people outside the top 10 are starting on the mediums. Interesting enough, QRT Robbie going straight out there on the hard compound tyres along with Mitty, Hemi, Liam, Wally, Pirate with the hard compound tyre. Like I said, everyone from 12th onwards down is on the mediums. Total Carney, straight on the softs, no messing about. He wants to make up some positions at the start, and with him starting on those softs and all the 3 cars ahead of him on the hards, keep an eye out for that Alfa. Is it the Alpine driver? Keep an eye on that Alpine driver coming up through the pack, maybe into turn 1. A lot of different strategies here, a lot of different pace coming off the line. We could see a big bunch up into turn 1 with these different strats, chappers.
We certainly could with, obviously with the hard tyres, they will probably bog down a little bit more than those mediums off that line. So we could see a couple of hard tyre drivers getting swallowed maybe if they don't get one of the best launches they possibly can. So as you say, it's probably going to be a bit of a carnage into turn 1, with it also being a very, very tight turn 1 as well. As we see the drivers now just coming to the end of their formation lap. All of them warming up the tyres as best as they can before they line themselves up onto the grid.
Yeah, just a quick mention then. Thank you for all the new followers coming in today. From this stream alone, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 new followers on this stream alone. So thank you very much for joining us here. We're about to hand you over now to Chappers, who's going to take it away for the very first time here. It's Season 7, Austria Tier 1, PlayStation. Chappers, take it away. I can't bloody wait.
Here we go then. So as we have the last remaining drivers lining up on the grid, a few of them getting to disqualification due to not lining up correctly, but it's easily done. As you wait for the lights to come on now, as the front runners are just waiting now. Those tyres are cooling like crazy. But I believe we're ready to go now, as all the drivers have now lined up. Let's see what we can do here for this opening round. Here we go then. The lights should be turning on any moment now.
Gotta love immersive starts. This is the issue. If you don't line up on your grid box correctly, it struggles to reset you. That's like, so now we're sitting here like, yeah.
I waiting for the lights moment wasn't exactly on time, so apologies for that one there. It was a game just being a bit silly with the immersive.
No, that's a strategy coming up, and this is the problem with immersive. This is the problem with immersive. If you get a few guys not lining up properly, it kind of freaks out and be like, bleh, bleh.
It has done a blah 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 moment now for this qualifying, this race start now, which is unfortunate really, because we were getting proper pumped up for this, but I think the game certainly said no.
We definitely were getting very, very, very pumped up. Let me have a quick look then at what everyone's saying on where and what, how. Bear with us, guys. We're just having some technical issues with the actual game. Obviously, immersive starts have had the issues, especially if you don't line up correctly. It does take a while. I'm wondering, just waiting for the admins now to say what's going on who's what, where, how, and what it's looking like on their screen. For us, obviously, we're just seeing guys sitting on the grid spot, and the stewards there must be getting an achy arm, as they've been flying those yellow flags now for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, they will be wanting to switch that flag into the other arm now with that arm, as Patty said, aching like crazy. Unfortunate that we've had this issue with the game here. It has happened in the past a few times, but
and it's so irritating, you know. It's so irritating. Yeah. The host has to leave. I am the host.
Right, that's looks like it's going to have to be a full blobby reset, I believe. Is this correct?
I am just waiting and finding out now. I need to leave. Why is it me then? I can't. If I leave, I can't. The whole thing goes to pot.
Yeah.
If I leave the whole stream, the whole thing goes to pot. Like the whole thing goes to pot. Like everything.
Yeah, this is a bit of a dilemma we have here currently. Sorry about this, everybody. This is something we didn't want to have happened for this race at the moment.
Right, okay, so guys, we're going to be back in 2 seconds. The host can't be a spectator. Well, oh. Well, I set up the lobby. Guys, we're going to be back in 2 seconds. We're just going to sort this out. Please bear with. So guys, just to let you know, it is a lobby restart. We're just getting the drivers in right now, and we'll be away shortly. So we've set the grid, we've set the lobby up. We've just now got to get the drivers in, and custom set it, and away we go. I do apologise about this technical glitch within the game, but we will be with you very, very shortly. Just bear with. We've got the 50-cent race coming next. Okay, we are back. We're ready to go. It's thank you so much, 49 of you staying with us here today for this race. Now, we had an absolute amazing qualifying session, and we had a bug in the game on the warm-up lap. But we're going to get rid of the warm-up lap. It's going to be broadcast warm-up, and then we're going to get going. We've got a 50% race here, just to remind you of the qualifying session. We have Robbie, who is our pole sitter. He is going to be starting on the front row of the grid. Last year's champion was Robbie, and he sets the benchmark here today with a 104.7, which was an absolute fantastic. Only one of two drivers to get in the 107s. As we count down now, ready to get into this race, I can only thank you guys for holding with us. 49 people ready to watch the top tier, the creme de la creme, the best of the best here at Esports Prospects, and I can't wait. Chappers, we were put under pressure there to get that lobby reset up, but we got it, and we're ready to go again.
We certainly are. It was a bit stressful to get everything sorted, but we are now back, and we are ready to get this race underway. Finally.
Finally, indeed. Now it's set to a dry race, because obviously it was dry for the race there. So no messing about. It's going to be dry all the way. And we'll see if the guys go for the same tyre strategy. I know there was a real split, but maybe they had second thoughts and going to go with something different this time. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. But yeah, wow. A lot of pressure to get that redone, because we had no admins to help us out on that one, did we, Chappers? We had to do that all ourselves. So finally, that's why it took a little bit longer than normal, but we appreciate you staying with us. 43 people still left in the stream getting ready for this one, and it's going to be an absolute blast. And me and Chappers can't wait to broadcast this race. The round one, Austria. I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Can't wait either. It's gonna be such a good race. I can already feel it. And the counter has now officially gone down, and we will see the drivers start their formation lap any moment now.
God, don't jinx it.
Yeah, I may have just jinxed it. If I have, I may as well just disappear now. Oh God.
Oh God, don't. Just don't.
Oh.
Just
oh no.
Don't. Just don't.
I've lost for words. What's happening with this game at the moment? I hope to God I've not just jinxed this.
Oh, there we go. Oh, you had me and kids. It's counting down. It's fine. We're good. It's good. We're counting down. It's fine. Patty, remember
breathe.
To back to stream. I know we have to breathe on that one. Gee, God almighty. Right, okay. Here we go then. It's going to be the formation lap, and away we go. Hopefully we have no glitches this time, because it's a broadcast formation lap. So hopefully everything will be underway and we can get this race finally. We've been waiting so long for round one, and then we get a glitch right at the start, and the suspense is just building. And hey, Crofty, behave yourself. It's Paddy Pat's time. How dare you, Crofty? He's
I've always found
he's stealing my fire, Chappers. Crofty's stealing my fire.
What is he doing? What is he playing at? Crofty, get away. It's our turn now to be in the comms box. Here he is. He's off again. What's he like?
Okay, so they're lining up then. It's broadcast to hopefully not get any glitches. We're going to hand you over then to Chappers, who's going to get us underway here for the round one, tier one, the best of the best that esports prospects have to offer. And it's nearly time for lights out. Chappers, take it away.
Thank you very much, Paddy. As we see, the last drivers have lined up now under this broadcast formation lap, and we will see the lights go red any moment now. So let's see who's going to get a good start now. So as we prepare now, hopefully we'll be able to get underway. Currently still showing on the broadcast for me. I don't know about you guys. watching the stream right now.
Oh no, you've got to be joking.
What's going on?
What's going on? You tell me.
It's frozen on my screen, and all I can see is the drivers just sat here
You've
on this
got to be
broadcast stream.
joking. I have like one of the fastest internets money can buy. Like, I don't know what the problem is.
Oh my gosh. We are so sorry for this, guys. It's something that's just out of control. It is out of our control.
Doesn't even let me leave. Chappers, you'll have to invite me back in if you can. I don't know if you can.
Yeah. I can. Yeah,
I'm not even.
I believe I can. Let me try and do that now.
Doesn't even let me leave.
It's not even letting me invite you back.
Let's close the game.
It's not letting me invite you back. Oh my god. What is this?
I'm gonna request to join, maybe. Has the race started or anything?
There we go. The race has just started as I've invited you.
Perfect, right.
That lights out. Yeah, they have just started the Grand Prix, and I don't know whether you guys can hear me, but Robbie has actually gotten an excellent start. As I'm getting requests to join from everybody now. I don't know what is happening. This has just been a disaster for.
Right, guys. It is what it is. It's just broke again, basically, straight away.
Yeah.
You're getting requests to join, so I'll make the decision. We've got to do it again. It is what it is, unfortunately. I can't do anything about it. I've just got to invite everyone again. So do apologise. But we've got no admins with us, and I've got to make the executive decision to just do it again, guys. So bear with. I can't do anything but apologise. That's all I can do. So we go again. Okay. So, third time's the charm, ladies and gentlemen. Third time's the charm. Thank you very much for the recent followers of Asteroid Forzan. I can't believe we're getting followers whilst watching the intro screen. It's crazy. But welcome back in, though. It's going to be third time lucky. If it does not work this time round, then we will be getting a driver that's going to host it, and it's going to be a 25%, which is what we don't really want for a round one. But thank you very much for all staying with us. 54 people watching this right now, and I just hope and pray that we can get this race underway. But if it doesn't work, just to let you know, if it doesn't work, I'm going to leave, close down the game, and then hopefully I can get back in through Chappers whilst the race is going. That's how we're going to do it. Let's see if it works. But we're ready to go. 50% race, no formation lap. Let's go. Wow, Chappers. I didn't think tonight I'd be doing that twice in a row.
I didn't think so either. It's been certainly a little bit stressful for behind the scenes trying to get everything sorted and everybody back in, but
I mean, I've reset a lobby loads of times, but only the once. To do it twice, it's just, yeah. Let's just. I don't. If that's a glitch, a new glitch, then we're gonna have to talk amongst admins to sort that out, because I know that it's not the internet, because I've got the best around, but that your money can buy. But if it's something to do with where you're spectating is struggling to host, then we may have to look at making sure that a driver with good internet speeds can host each race. Take the stress off me, that's for sure.
But yeah, let's hope and pray now that we can get underway finally for this opening ground for Prospects Tier 1.
Well, it's kept us in suspense, hasn't it? Let's be honest. It's like we're ready and waiting. It's like oh, Patty, it's a common bug. Drivers need to host. You say it's a common hook. I host the whole of last year for Tier 1. There was no problem at all. But if it's a common bug in the new game, I'm unaware of that.
If it's a common bug in this game, it's probably come about as of this latest patch. No doubt, with the luck that we've had tonight, that's probably the case.
Painful, right? Painful.
Oh, very, very painful.
It's this year, and it's a common bug for this year, this game. Right. If it doesn't work this time without a formation lap, then I will be leaving, closing the game down. Chappers, hopefully it starts. And then if you can invite me back in, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, no problem.
We've got no formation lap, so Chappers is going to get us going straight away here. Hopefully it works.
Hopefully that we can...
oh, we got lights!
Here we go. 5 lights, and it's lights out, and away we go for the opening round of Prospects eRacing Tier 1. Finally, we are away, and it looks like everybody has gotten away cleanly so far.
Oh, the AlphaTauri's got round. He went on the inside, and he's the first driver to have a spin here. And QRT Robbie gets a brilliant start, but to the 3 abreast here, going through here on the this 3 abreast into the hairpin. Who's going to come out top? The Haas, that's the thing. But the McLaren, the Mercedes, hangs around the outside and stays ahead. King David up to 3rd place.
Yeah, incredible stuff there for King David. And we also have a Quasar in for a couple of positions there on the opening lap. Racing on a P2, but he's right on the back of King David now. The biggest person is Forzan for 8 positions gained on that opening lap. So a good start for Forzan as well in the McLaren.
So just having a quick look then at the tyre choices then. So QRT Robbie did go the hard. So Carney on the soft up to 8th place already, as we see Forzan going round there, and he's going to go to the back of the grid. Let's have a look to see if he's got any damage from that. It looks like he's got the car away again, but no damage as it looks so far. So we're away.
We are indeed, and let's head back to the front with Robbie now, as he's pulled a 0.6 gap on that one to the Alfa Romeo driver in P2. So Robbie getting a good start on those hard tyres as well, just bearing in mind.
Yeah, he got away nicely, and he's holding the gap there with Mitwee, who, you know, he is holding. Oh, we got a safety car. What have we got here? Is that a safety car? No, it's a virtual safety car. We got a virtual safety car then. I'm not sure who brought that out. I don't think it's going to affect anyone. I don't see anyone jumping into the pits this early, especially with everyone starting on those hards and mediums.
I've just gone on board with Pirate and Rehab in 20th, and he has got no front wing. So is that the reason for the virtual safety car, maybe?
It probably
front
is.
wing
Now,
and
Pirate,
debris
then,
being on track.
Pirate is the champion of last year, so he's going to have to pit then. And his strategy is good. Well, he's at the hard combo tyre he started on. So it's a little bit of a shame there from Pirate. I wonder what happened. We missed that on stream. But he's going to have to get in that pit as quick as he can and try and fix his strategy. Total Carney then, who started on the soft compound tyre, he's going into the pits to get rid of them already. So will he go hards then? Will the hards go to the end?
Gosh, that would be a big ask if they can go to the end. Let's see what he's got yet. He does indeed put those hards on, does Total Carney, and DRS has been enabled as we have gone green flags yet again, and everybody seems to have gotten away pretty cleanly actually up ahead and throughout the field. Seems like as well. So, who are you on board with currently, Patty?
Well, right on board with Hemi. He looked like he had a great launch off the end of that virtual, but the Alpine of Equasia just had a better exit from the hairpin. You see Optic making up positions and going side by side here now with Sam Flea going through here to the left-hander. It's going to be the AlphaTauri on the inside. The Aston Martin of Optic sticks it around the outside, and the confidence to do that is absolutely magnificent. Optic then up to 10th place. Great driving from them too.
Yeah, phenomenal driving there, and it's great to see such good racing early on in this race also, and great opening to the season as well. So very well done from those guys there. Bit of a group gathering actually there with Optic ahead of that little group of drivers. Everybody else starting to space out a little bit ahead of them.
Let's have a look at that replay then. Got to see that one again, haven't we? So Optic then, look at him sticking around the outside, almost on the grass, and he just gets out in front as it does the corner sharpens up on him. Great move there from Optic.
I've just been on board with Bingram, and there's been a bit of contact, and Bingram has spun, and he has lost his right end plate of that Aston Martin. There's contact, I believe, with one of the AlphaTauri drivers coming into turn 3. I just caught the end of that, and fortunate there from Bingham. I think he just broke a little bit later.
And Optic then down into 11th he is. Cameron gets ahead of him as we see Troye swapping places as well. So Bingham and Optic losing places in the Aston Martin team there. Not a bad start from Optic, although Cameron has done a great job of getting ahead of him there. So let's ride on board with Hemi then, who is 2/10 behind Equasia. And it's a little bit of a DRS train as we go across. Cuts the turn 1 a lot there, but he's in the DRS, but so is Equasia. This could be the issue with overtaking. It could be crucial on how these guys save their ERS and their tyres. What do you think, chaps?
I totally agree, and as well with this track, when you're being about 70% of the lap, full throttle, it's going to be difficult to overtake people when you are in a DRS train. So it's all about managing that ERS, but if you have no ERS left, that car will not have as good straight line speed.
So Fudge then getting taken over by Optic. Optic on the inside then, and he's going to try and keep it through. Oh, they push on the grass. Optic doesn't look like he gave enough space there for Fudge, and there was a collision. Interesting racing from them guys, and the guy that gets the arse end of that is Optic. Equation's gone as well. It's all going on here in Tier 1 at the start of this race.
I am now currently just on board.
Right, go on, who are you on board with?
I'm currently on board with Fudge, who is on the back of Sam Flea, who is a bit vulnerable as he has got no ERS at the moment, but Sam's pulled a little bit of a gap on him through that first sector, surprisingly. I think Fudge may have ran slightly wide or made a bit of a mistake there, but let's see if he can gain some ground onto the AlphaTauri driver.
Well, Quasar is trying to get back on top of things here, having a little battle there with Liam, and he's got Optic in front of him as well. This is getting saucy, so Quasar, having an early mistake, finds himself down into 12th place, and he's got Liam here for company, as well as Optic in front. This could get interesting through here.
On board with Fudge as well, and now as he is gained a little bit of ground there through that middle sector and into turn 1. If he can get a good exit out of here, he will be very, very good on this zone, but he doesn't get a great exit and a similar exit to the driver in front of him.
Oh,
so it does
look at the battle in here! It's 3 wide! Going through here, you've got QC, Alex, you've got Wally in the McLaren, all battling out in front. Anyone is fighting for this last podium place. We're only 7 laps in. This is great driving from these guys. Got to look at Wally though. Those hard compound tyres seem to be under on the right time, and he's got those temperatures bang on by the look of it, because the hard compound tyre, 7 laps in, he's looking very, very fighty indeed, is the McLaren driver.
He is. It's looking very good now. I do think that those hard time drivers will come into a bit more play now compared to those medium drivers, as they will be very much up to temperature and they will be feeling a bit more saucy compared to those mediums.
So Mitwi then in the Alfa Romeo is on the back of King David. King David now has dropped out of the DRS zone of Hemi, which is crucial. And Mitwi then is going to come and challenge in the DRS zone. King David has got no answer. He's got no ERS left. And he's going to take to the inside, is Mitwi. And that is a position taken. But is the Mercedes guy going to come back then? He's going to get the DRS on this time. He's going to come back at him. He's going to think about QC Alex behind him as well. Is he close enough? He's gaining. He's gaining. He has a little sniff to the inside. But I don't think that was anything serious more to put the Alfa Romeo driver off.
Yeah, but I also just pointed out when all the action was happening, the McLaren driver of Wally had a bit of a moment coming out of turn 1, and he lost the rear slightly, but he managed to just about save it, but he did lose ground to the DRS train up ahead of him.
So Optic then getting Bullshit then on the back of Fudge. So this battle is starting to heat up now as well, as we see Tintoretto getting ahead of Mitwi, who's had a bit of a moment there. Mitwi, who just got himself into 3rd place, has now found himself in a spin and now down in 4th place. It's absolute craziness going all over the place here as we now ride on board with Optic here, who's side by side with Fudge. Now they had it coming together earlier on in the race. Can they keep it clean this time? A little bit of a touch there from Optic. Oh, it's absolute carnage. It's absolute carnage.
What on earth has just happened there? Oh my gosh, that was very, very close racing, and unfortunately ended in a collision between Fudge and Optic.
And
the
I
second
think,
collision of the race, is that?
Yeah, and them two getting very bullshit with each other, and we've got no time to breathe as we now ride on board with Troye, who takes the lead, takes the position ahead of Quasar. Quasar almost wanting to come back at him before the turn there. It's really hot up here in round 1 of PlayStation 2. This is amazing stuff. Let's take a look at the replay then of the Optic Fudge incident. Let me see what your take is on this, chappers.
I'm just going to have a little look at it now. My take was that it was just very, very risky racing.
Sorry, they're side by side there. They've got 3 cars, so Optic just nudges them. He goes off the track, and obviously those yellow curbs has made the rear end go, and he's gone straight back in to Optic. But I think that little nudge from Optic, because you can just see it right here, look, ready? He's side by side, and then he just nudges him, look, into the turn, takes him wide. Those yellow curbs have unbalanced the car, and that has gone straight into the side of Optic. So very unfortunate, but them two starting off this season with a bit of hate, shall we say.
Yes, and also while we were watching that replay, I was actually on board with Optic, and there was actually a collision within the pit lane entrance. They collided inside of the pit lane, and unfortunately it wasn't caught on stream. Yeah, and I believe the Fudge went into the wall there, so I believe he got wing damage. Yeah,
it was
interesting.
to worse from them too. Riding on board then at the minute with Liam, who is having a nice little fight here with Lee. Sam Felicio say, and he's really wanting that position. The hard seems to, he gets a little bit slipping, does Liam, but he does correct it very nicely, and he's going to get the DRS down here on the pit straight, and it's going to be, oh no, he's been tactic here. He's staying behind the AlphaTauri, but of doing so, he's just let Troye say, thank you, man, bam. I'll take that off you if you're not going to have it.
Troye's come from near the back of the grid as well, hasn't he? So Troye making up heavy ground here in this opening laps of this race as well. So Troye doing an excellent job with that Alfa Romeo.
That's a great point you make there. Troye standing at the back of the grid today, already up to 8th place. So doing a great job. Lap 11 here of 36, and what a race we've had so far. I feel already it's been worth the wait, don't you, chappers?
Oh, it's definitely been worth the wait, and I've just gone on now board with Wally, the McLaren driver, and he is now getting to grips with Cameron, who's just ahead of him, and he has been catching him up a little bit, I believe, as well, and he is now within DRS range. So I'm going to watch Wally real fast here. Let's see what he can do here. He has got DRS, but I believe Cameron also has DRS. Yeah, that's a little DRS train there, but keep an eye on the McLaren driver of Wally, because he is making up ground now, because he is on hard tyres, and the drivers ahead of him are on medium tyres. The 3rd, 4th and 5th place position drivers are all on medium tyres, with Wally on those hards. So at this point in the race, will we see those hards come into play?
Yes, I think we're going to start seeing them come into play now. How long will the mediums last? When is that pit strategy ready to come in? We can already see the hards seem to be now coming into their own. We're riding on board at the minute with the Williams driver of QC, Alex. But unfortunately for him, he's got a back marker who is helping King David at the minute win that DRS zone.
Yeah, indeed. And I have now just gone on board with NLR Liam, as he is just come onto the back of Sam Flea. So there's a little group collecting there now, with Troye leading that pack in P8.
Got to mention QRT Robbie then 5.2 seconds ahead of anyone out in the field so far. He was last year's champion, and he's setting the benchmark again here for round 1 so far in this race. But as we've seen already, anything could happen. Even the best of drivers are struggling out there today.
They are indeed, but as you say, Robbie 5.5 seconds ahead of everybody else, doing an exceptional job in that Ferrari. And he's just proving the champion of last season, doing the best job he possibly can, dominating the field currently.
Yeah, still on board with Liam then. And yeah, he's in this DRS zone at the minute, and they're all starting to bunch up at this moment in time. But there is a little battle with QC Alex and Cameron and David for 3rd place. These 3 guys here are sniffing podiums, and Hemi then is a bit further ahead. It's a weird one. You got Hemi and King David. Hemi's kind of in the middle of just having a race on his own, as well as QRT Robbie. As QRT Robbie then, our race leader, 13 laps in, is coming off those hard compound tyres. Explain that one to us, Jappers.
That's a difficult one to explain, really. I'd have expected those hards to go a lot longer than that. Maybe he's just losing a little bit of grip on them, and he's just not feeling totally comfortable, and he just wants to jump on those mediums early. Maybe because he knows he's got the pace to gap the other drivers, he maybe just might conserve those medium tyres and bring them to the end, because he's got to bring them to the end now.
He just nearly misses the pit exit wall there. But he's gone on the medium tyres at 14, and he's come out in 7th place, but straight away under pressure from Troye, who is yet to pit side last on the grid. And it's going to take a bit of while for those tyres to get up to temperature, but it seems like QRT Robbie has got it under wraps. Or has he, shall we say? Troye then takes to the inside. What an absolute move from Troye. And that has halted QRT's Robbie. Oh no, he's come back at him. QRT Robbie then coming back at him again, as we see a McLaren out of the field. And I believe that's Forzan again. But luckily for QRT Robbie, he does get back ahead of Troye, who's now on the back of Tintoretto as well. So took a while, half a lap, but it looks like the mediums are already up into temperature. And QRT Robbie needs to get a move on now to make that strategy work. Interesting strategy coming off those hards so early on. Chappers, we have lost you, mate. Just to let you know, we have lost your voice. We cannot hear you. So, we have a safety car. Forzan then, who we seen on the side of the track, pulling to the side. He's brought out the safety car. So, safety car. And that has not done Robbie any favours whatsoever, has it? Not at all. As we're going to see a lot of the drivers then coming to the pits. And it looks like he is going to get back out in front bar Hemi. So Hemi has got back in. I'm not sure where Chappers is right now, but we're going to try and sort that technical glitch out and get him back into this into the comms.
Can you hear me?
Yep, you're back. Welcome back.
Hallelujah.
God knows what happened then. So you just missed it. We got a safety car.
Okay, that's something that I just missed when trying to sort everything out, but apologies on that one, guys. I don't know what
interesting, right? Hemi is now our race leader. So caught out QRT Robbie a little bit there, but it could have been a lot worse. Now everyone's gone onto the hard compound tyre. Robbie is on the mediums. Let's have a little look here. So yeah, Hemi on the mediums, lap 16. Will he get them to the end? QRT Robbie already done 2 laps. So they are the tyres choices at the minute. What do you think to that, Chappers?
Very interesting there. I do think that QRT Robbie also made quite a good decision to box a little bit early there, to be fair. He got a bit of luck with that safety car and it's brought him right back into play with Hemi. And they're only 2 lap older tyres compared to Hemi, so I do think they will be a little bit racy once we get back underway.
So, a bit of a roundup then from so far. So, we've lost Forzan, Slins in this race already. We've had a safety car now. Virtual, we've had a safety car. QRT Robbie then pitted 2 laps before that safety car. And we are now waiting to get underway again. What's your thoughts then on these mediums going to the end, Chappers? No, we've lost Chappers again.
Back on.
Chappers, are you there?
I am here. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's working again.
I don't know what's going on here. It's my mic and everything's on. I've changed nothing.
It's all
if
good.
you can hear me now.
Yeah, it's all good. We got you. We've gone into the meeting room now instead of the lounge, so we're all good. So it looks like it's going to be in this lap then. It's going to be coming in at lap 18. Hemi then is now your race leader. Really worked out for him under safety car. QRT Robbie then now done 4 laps on those mediums. We'll have to see and wait and see what Robbie could do. Robbie's actually going to have to race now, Chappers.
He is, yeah, definitely. He's going to have to get have a bit of race on his hands to try and get past Hemi, who's also on the medium tyres, but they are 2 laps younger than Robbie's, so Hemi may have that little bit better than him. So it'll be interesting when we get back underway.
Yeah, and there's one thing that I've noticed this show already is that the hard compound tyre after when the safety car is so hard to get those tyres up to temperature, we see a lot of spins because they just can't get the heat in them. Whilst the safety car's going around, we see race control then telling us that the safety car will be in this lap. So Hemi will become our effective safety car and back up the pack, which is not going to help the guys on the hard compound tyre.
I believe so. The safety car is in this lap, as Patty has said. Race control is putting that message up, and you see the drivers back off on that safety car and warming up the tyres as best as they can. Do watch out though for those hard runners, because those hards do struggle, as Patty said, to get up to temperature compared to the mediums of that restart.
Just before the restart happens, before the house gets going, I want to say thank you for all of you watching right now. We've got 61 viewers as we watch the house then take it from the front. When is he going to launch? He's gone. It's hard. Hemi goes and he kind of gets the jump there, trying to get out of the slipstream of Robbie on the restart. Robbie trying to stick with him here, and it's a bit of a snaking down the pitch straight as we see the swerving trying to get out of the DRS zone, the slipstream there, but it's all systems go, and it seems that everyone's got away nicely.
They have, and as you can tell, those media runners have pulled a bit of a gap. The front two pulled a gap on the rest of the field, as those two are on those mediums, and they will hold that bit more temperature and a little bit more grip off that restart.
Yeah, talk about temperatures then. QC Alex really struggling to get the traction down out of that turn, and Wally just comes cruising past them on those medium tyres. So now then, Liam is fighting away. It's all going on in the midfield here, and Liam is losing places, which is very unusual considering he's on those mediums.
Interesting there. It's as you said, very unusual. He should have the better grip there, but Quasar now all over the back of the Red Bull of Liam, so Quasar also on those hards, so don't know what's going on there in that Red Bull.
Yeah, it's getting very tightly packed here in the midfield, as we see Hemi then holding his own at the minute, as we see that he sets the fastest lap with a 1:68. And it's a hell of a train now as we go. The Alpine just tries and ducks out of that slipstream, maybe cool the engine down a little bit while we're following car by car. Like, look at the closeness of these guys following. You're really within a car's length here. It's got to be so good on the brakes and really judging the guy in front as the tap there as we see a car going round. Is that Tintoretto or is he ghosted? Something's gone on there.
I believe there was a bit of contact there with a Quasar hitting the back of one of the Red Bulls as well. There's the moment he said you've got to be a bit careful of the braking with the driver in front of you.
We're going to move that on the Ferrari. Pyra then takes it to the inside of Fudge, and then he gets that move done. But look at this, the Haas is going to try and go through the wide inside, but Pyra gets that move done up into 14th.
Incredible stuff there from Pirate. Great to see from the World Champion last season of Tier 2. So Pirate doing a good job here in his debut for Tier 1, would you say, Patty?
He definitely has. He had an early, lap 1 or lap 2. He lost his whole of his front wing and had to pit. And he's just trying to work his way back up the grid. And like I say, he's in 14th at the minute, and he had a great move there. As we see Optic up into 12th place now, getting ahead of Total Carney. But Total Carney is not going to be having any of that. He's going to try and get back at him here. And he goes to the inside. Is he going to make it late on the brakes? He thinks better of it. And Tuck's right behind him then, almost colliding with the Aston Martin's rear diffuser. But they're all struggling to get that power down after that hairpin. They really are.
Yeah, I've just seen a retirement from Mick Tweed there, and it has brought a yellow flag in sector 3. He has pulled into the pits for... So
Mick Tweed then, he's had enough. Lap 21. He's had enough. But interesting enough, QRT, Robbie and Hemi have pulled away and they're having a bit of a race of their own. Hemi doing very, very well in the Ascar at the minute. We see King David having a battle with Cameron and gets himself up into 3rd place. But this, once again, for the battle of 3rd, is heating up nicely.
It certainly is. We're going to have... Looks like there's going to be a few drivers about to get involved here. If these guys in the front of this group keep battling for that 3rd place, it's just going to bring more and more drivers into play.
Definitely is, and the one that's going to be stuck out to dry here is the Mercedes of King David. As we see the Red Bull take to the inside then, and that move looked pretty well done to me. But will the Mercedes come back at him again? He's going to get the DRS this time round. He's gaining, he's on the rear diffuser. Oh, that is a very late defensive move there from the Red Bulls. He does a switcheroo, and I tell you what, if I was a Mercedes driver there, I'd be absolute fuming. Great reactions from the Mercedes driver, but he's under pressure here now from the McLaren. He is going to hold on for that position, and they're still battling it. The McLaren sticks it around the outside, very brave, and he loses 2 positions. Does the Mercedes driver, but gosh, great reactions there from King David, but he will not be happy with Cameron from that late defensive move.
Yeah, he definitely won it, but I will say a great move actually from McLaren around the outside of King David to get P4 and demote David to P5. Phenomenal racing there from Wally, in my opinion.
Yeah, Wally then take an optimistic move there, as we see Sam Flea then swapping places there, and the McLaren just keeps it out of the wall. Lost traction after turn 1, and it looked for a minute he was going straight in the barrier, but he just got the brakes on in time and recovers that. Unfortunately for him though, he's now down in 13th.
Yeah, unfortunate. Quay's had a very good qualifying, but just doesn't seem to have pulled it together in the race so far. But there's still a few laps to go, so anything can happen in this race.
It definitely is. Now it looks like QRT Robbie is now starting to eye himself up for a bit of a move here, for maybe to take this race lead. He's got no ERS, using a lot of it. Hemi on 92%, controlling it from the front.
Definitely, he's managing this very, very well. And then again, what he's allowed Hemi now, if when Robbie gets DRS, Hemi can just plow on that ERS and just defend that DRS from Robbie. So Hemi holding his own and doing a phenomenal job up front.
He definitely is, and he's playing it smart. Now, it's unlike Robbie to use all of his ERS at this stage of the race. He may be holding back now and trying to save a little bit for an attack, because he's got nothing to answer with someone with 92%. He's just going to have to hold it as Wally then fights his way with King David. King David, who's going through, who's going to get the better traction. It looks like the McLaren is, but behind as well, we've got side-by-side action between the Red Bull and NFR Liam. He's going to go around the outside here. We've got 2 cars, 4 cars side-by-side going through here. The Red Bull takes to the inside. Liam goes a little bit late, a little bit wider, and almost lets Troy through as well. It's action all over the field here. We don't know where to look, and the McLaren is just holding his own, but this, any mistake at any point, and we could find a lot of positions changing here.
We could indeed. It's all heating up now. It's all kind of coming into play.
Honestly, I get squeaky bum time. It's literally, you watch the race and you watch how close these guys are racing, and you just think there's going to be contact, and somehow they manage to avoid each other and still push like hell like they're doing now. This is absolutely magnificent here. This is Tier 1. This is the best of that prospects have to offer, and what a round 1 we're having today. I think we've lost him again. I think we've lost Chappers again. Yeah, we've lost Chappers again. Yep, don't know where Chappers has gone. But we'll continue with the racing, and all the while this is going on, QRT Robbie and Hemi have pulled an absolute huge gap. You can see from the track map here in the bottom right hand side, they've really pulled a gap on these guys. So the battle here then for 4th place is still on, as we see the McLaren having a little sniff to the inside. Optic has retired into the pits, and that is the Aston Martin out of this race down in 15th. His race has ended. but we've got no time to rest. You see Bingram then setting the fastest lap with a 106 down in 16th place. His race is, well, pretty much over, I'd say, from Bingram. But he still gets that fastest lap at the minute with a 106. This is where the battle is now for 4th place. And what a battle it is as well. Tintoretto then in 10th, and he's got a bit of a train behind him. Pirate then up into 12th now, and he's going to look to see if he can get himself a point in his first ever race in Tier 1 from last year's Tier 2 champion. He'll be hungry to get off to the mark with at least a point in his first ever race for Tier 1. So keep an eye on the Ferrari driver there as well. He's going to go back onto Wally then as he's really pushing now on the inside of David. Under braking, then he's going to go to the inside. Oh, so close. And he goes a little bit wide, slight contact there, and he gets that job done. And is the Red Bull driver going to take advantage of that as well, as we see side-by-side action there behind. And we do have side-by-side action as Troye tucks to the inside of QC Alex and makes that move complete as well. QC down to 8th. And these guys are swapping positions left, right and centre. Chappers, can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
You're back again, mate.
What's going on? I'm not touching anything. I'm just
It's
doing
all
my
good.
own thing, not
You're back,
leaving
mate.
everything
You're back.
as is, but there's just tech issues going on tonight.
It's amazing, is it? Yeah,
I
absolutely amazing.
apologise. We're all
Yeah,
having
so,
tech issues tonight.
28 laps in. Let's have a little look then of the penalties so far then. QRT, Robbie and Hemi on 3 seconds. Cameron on 0. Wally on 3. 12 seconds for Tintoretto. Not having a great race for track limits for him, but we've got to go right on board here with these guys now as David Reed takes 4th place. But he's going to be, very slow out of that turn. And it is. It's a safety car, ladies and gentlemen. Safety car. What has brought that out?
I have absolutely no idea. What has brought that out?
Bingram DNF,
Right.
but he's DNF'd in the pits, which is weirdly enough brought out the safety car, which this is going to bring the whole pack back together. And we're going to have I reckon the time that this goes, we're going to have about 5 laps remaining. So keep an eye on Cameron here. Is he going to go into the pits? He is indeed. Right, so everyone's gone into the pits here now. Let's see what tyres they go on. It's going to be softs to the end. Let's have a look to see what Robbie does. So it's softs to the end now, guys. It's going to be an absolute shootout here. To the end of this round 1, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Hemi gets back out in front of QRT Robbie. Wally then stays out on track. Interesting from Wally.
Wally has actually now come out in front of the whole field. Only just, though. He only just got out ahead of the front two of Hemi and Robbie. But also, Troye has got ahead of Robbie.
Yes, and
So,
that's because
Robbie's
he
got
hasn't
ahead
stopped.
Yeah, so Robbie's got to deal with Troye. And Troye, let's point out again, started from the back of the grid today.
I know, but crucially, for the battle for first, effectively, Hemi and QRT are on the softs. They're going to be ultra fast towards the end of this race. But crucially, Robbie's got to get the job done. He's got to get the job done early on Troye because he's really effectively racing Hemi. Hemi should really get Wally, but it's going to. This is going to be sparsy. But remember, Troye, if you can get those temperatures up in the hard compound tyre, he's got no penalties. Cameron got no penalties. It's going to be about 5 laps of racing, and we all know how strong the DRS zone here is. But the slipstream, it's like a DRS train. It's really hard to pull away. So this could be very interesting finish, I believe.
It could, and as you said, if Troye can just stay with those soft runners and also Wally in front on the old mediums, he could really be within a shout here of taking victory.
So Tintoretto then goes back into the pits again. I believe he's trying to get rid of a few of his 5 seconds to bring his penalty count down. So there you go. New front wing as well for Tintoretto. So not a great start there from the Mercedes driver of this season. He's going to come out back of the grid, yes. So Tintoretto now is going to be stone last, but he will be on the soft component. Crucially enough, everyone then on the softs, bar Quasar, Troye and Wally, who's on 14 lap old mediums. This is a race between Hemi and QRT Robbie. Can Robbie get the jump on Troye as quick as he can? Can Hemi get ahead of Wally as quick as he can? It's going to be an interesting shootout here because Troye got no penalties, and we'll keep an eye for Cameron as well.
Definitely, Cameron is certainly one to watch in these closing stages of this shootout that we are going to see here. But also Troye on those hards, he needs to really get a good launch there and get those tyres warmed up as quickly as possible.
He does indeed. So Epic's then saying that it looks like Hemi's running very low wing. Well, if he is, he's doing a very good job at it in this stage of the race. Now, I think he's on 3 seconds, the same as Robbie. Yes, so Robbie, Quasar, 3 seconds. Hemi, Wally, 3 seconds. So I can't call this, chappers. I can't call it.
Me neither. I honestly, it's a tough one to call because, you know, anything can happen on this restart. You know, we could see some collisions getting involved. I don't want to commentate as curse it, but there could be anything can happen on this restart because those soft runners are going to have so much more grip than the than Troye and Wally, so they're going to need to be careful on exit because...
And Wally's gone then. Wally's launched himself off. Can Robbie then quickly get rid of Troye straight away? He's on the back. Is he going to get it before turn one? He needs to get on the brakes early, get a great exit, use the grip that you're going to get from those soft compo tyre. And it looks like Hemi and Robbie get a great exit. And it could be a position change there from Wally. Wally is fighting defensive here. Hemi comes to the inside, they're side by side. He gets pushed out wide, and Hemi takes the lead of this race. QRT Robbie takes third. Can Robbie then make another move on QRT, on Wally, and get ahead of him under braking? He's going to the inside, and it's a late dive to the inside, but he makes it work. And look at Robbie go.
Yeah, those are soft tyre runners of Hemi and Rob.
We've lost you again, chappers. Oh, this is going to be an absolute shootout now to the end of this race. It's going to be an absolute shootout, chappers. What do you think?
It's certainly an interesting one, and I will say that Robbie and Hemi, that now that have taken advantage of their fresh softs, now have got a huge advantage over the field because they've got to get past Wally and Troye, but Cameron has just got past the Troye as well, and he's looking at the inside of Wally. He didn't quite make the lunge, and I think he is just preparing himself, shall we say.
Yeah, it's getting very bullish out here. Guys, no, there's only 4 laps left, so this is the time where they're going to be taking the moves. As you see the Mercedes going around the outside, he's going to try that switch back then on the Alfa Romeo of Troy and King David to the inside. What a move from them. Oh, it's absolute carnage. Oh, I can't speak. I can't bloody speak. Oh, it's unbelievable, chappers.
What the hell has just happened there? I think it was a merge of lines, I believe, from what I just caught there between Wally and Cameron. And as I said, Wally on those 16-lap old mediums and Cameron on those fresh softs. Maybe it was just the thing of just the extra grip that Cameron got compared to Wally, and he just didn't predict it enough from the driver in front.
It was absolute carnage. I feel sick to my stomach. What a way to end the race with only 3 races left. They've done a great recovery drive from Quasar Wally, but look at them now, down in 13, 15. It's unbelievable, Jeff. Look at Pirate. I said keep an eye on him. He's up into 9th place. No penalties. Great job from him. Here we go then. Robbie, could he make a move to the inside on this latter stage of this race? The battle for the lead is going to go right to the wire. And we've had an absolute show in here tonight, chappers.
We have indeed. They put on a fantastic show for us, and the wait for this race was long anticipated through the technical issues from earlier on, but they have produced a phenomenal race for us, and I'm so happy that I was able to be a part of it today.
It's been absolutely incredible. Hemi, though, holding his own. They have got gapped the rest of the field, so their 3 seconds will not count unless we see a late penalty. But Robbie is going to be pushing the most he can here now, trying to get ahead of Hemi. But Hemi just looks in control. He's not crumbling under pressure whatsoever from last year's champion, is he?
He's not, and he's just, as you said, he's holding himself so well, and it's so lovely to see that you can hold yourself from the champion of last season and properly fight him and give him a run for his money.
It's brilliant to see. We don't like to see any driver just gap the whole field for the whole season, and if this is what we've got to see as the season goes, we're in for an absolute brilliant season as Hemi's still out in front of QCI and Alex battling it with Troye, and they do go side by side. The long right-hander is going to get the inside, but is he going to back out? No, he keeps it to the inside, does Troye, but no, the Williams holds it around the outside and keeps that position in P4. What a race we're having.
We are having a great race, and I've just seen that Wally has retired from the session as well in Sector 2.
So then, here we go. We start the penultimate lap then. QRT Robbie's still got to get the move done then on Hemi. If he's going to do it, he's got to do it surely. But Hemi looks like he's got a little bit of a wobble on there as the Ferrari driver. And look at the Hemi, just gets great traction, which just seems to be helping him.
Yeah, certainly, and we're coming into the last closing stage of this race now. 1.5 laps to go, and it is all still to play for up ahead between Robbie and Hemi.
Thor's just gone into the pits then. He is retired. His race is over. He's had enough. And this is what it comes down to the wire as Equator again gets the fastest lap of a 1:06.3, and I don't think that will be beaten today. So great job from Equator. Unfortunate for him though, earlier on a few laps ago, but wow, here it comes down to these two now. This is what we want to see. Who is going to win? Is it going to be Hemi? Is it going to be Robbie? Who do you think, chat? Who is it going to be? We come on to the last lap now. Can Hemi hold on? Can Robbie take the move to him? He's pushing him all the way. This is magnificent driving from these two. Robbie's got to do it now, as you see the Haas driver take to the inside, trying to get rid of the slipstream. But look at the traction he gets from the Haas car.
Yeah, phenomenal. It's going to be a tough one now as Robbie using all of his battery to try and get past Hemi as he goes on the outside of him. Breaking late contact. Hemi making it stick. Oh, a bit of contact once more.
Very, very tough racing there. Hemi, I think he may have moved under braking there, pushed him a little bit wide. And very, very, very bushy defending. But really on the limit. I would say great drive. And that could have been, that is the decider, I think. And Hemi's done a great job. I don't think Robbie's had anything to answer for him there. That was his one chance. What incredible racing we had there. Robbie tried everything, but it's Hemi then who's going to come through the last turns. All he's got to do is hold on here, and he's going to take the checkered flag here. The first race, it's round one. It's the Haas car of Hemi. Takes a win here at Austria. Fantastic race. Fantastic battle. Absolutely magnificent.
Phenomenal racing from the front too, and everybody else in Tier 1 today. It was a very action-packed race, and I was so happy to be in the comments box for this season opener.
My adrenaline's pumping. I am sweating in the comms box. What a race. What a showing. Worth the wait. Worth all the bugs. Fantastic. That's what we want to see week in, week out, and that's what we're going to give you. Amazing is one word to sum up that race. Amazing.
I couldn't have put it any better, Patty. Yeah, that was incredible from everybody today. Phenomenal.
Troye then gets driver of the day, and rightly so, came from back of the grid. Gets driver of the day from there, and I've got a lump in my throat. Let's go. That was amazing. That was fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Wow. Oh, we got to take a breather from that. That was crazy.
Yeah.
So Hemi then takes the race win here at Austria, round one for the creme de la creme of Tier 1 Esports Prospects eRacing League. We've had 69 people watching this. It's been amazing, and wow, just wow. We're going to bring you this action every day, different tiers. I'll be racing in tier 2 tomorrow at this very track. We're going to have some great comms as well, which will be back here on this Twitch channel. So make sure you hook us up with a follow. But we'll be back next week, where it'll be round 1. Hemi then takes your win here at Austria for round 1. QRT Robbie give it the best he could at the end there, but P2 was the best he could get today. King David third rounds off that podium in the Mercedes. Williams QC Alex gets 4th. 2 Canadians in the top 4. Love to see that. Troy then driver of the day back of the grid and comes 5th. Not a bad showing from him. Liam then 6th. Carney 7th. Spider-Man 8th. 9th is Cameron. Tintoretto rounds up your top 10. Not sure what happened to Pirate. He's down there in 13th, but before him is Equation Sam Flea. And Fudge 14th. Wally 15th. 16th is Bingham. 17th Optic. Midway 18th. 19th. And Sins, the first retirement of the race, is your last place. Well, my gosh. Now then, let's see if we can get the podium sitters. We're going to leave this chat. We're going to go into the podium interviews and see if we can get ourselves a chat with QRT Robbie and Penny. Woo. So just bear with us then as the guys cool down, get themselves gathered up, get on their phones, and give them a chance to get themselves into the podium interview box.
Yeah, phenomenal race that was actually. That was incredible from these tier 1 guys, and I'm sure the tier 2 guys will put on a good show for it and be you guys tomorrow as well.
We're just waiting to see if we can get them in.
None of them currently joined yet. We're just waiting to see, as Patty said, if the guys will come into the podium interview box.
I'm actually sweating.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was amazing. Like, whew. I don't know about you guys.
And they'll be sweating a little bit more.
Oh man, it was just so special. That race was so special. And I just hope that we do get Robbie and what's his Hemi
yeah.
in here, because that was incredible. And what's really annoying is that I was part of the tier 1 things here for this very reason. I could put it in the main chat.
I don't know where they are. At the moment, they've not currently joined the chat. Hoping they do, because I would, as Patty said, we would love to hear from them and what they've got to say about that race, because I'm sure they're sweating a lot more than what me and Patty were in the comms box today.
I don't know about that. Come on, guys, come on. We got this. Whew. Doesn't look promising, does it?
It does not, unfortunately.
We had so much going on. It doesn't look promising.
Unfortunate if they don't go on the shuttle.
Oh, we do. We have our away race winner. Hemi, can you hear us?
Yes, hi, yes, I can.
Hello, Hemi, congratulations. You have taken the first win in round 1, and what a race you had. Please talk us through your race and the challenges you faced and the battle towards the end there with Robbie.
Yeah, honestly, I'm at a loss for words. I had a horrible qualifying. I had a great start to the race. I don't really remember how I got to P3 or 2. And Robbie was far in the lead, and then he decided to pit, which was a very questionable decision from him. And
yeah,
then
we've
2 laps
seen it.
later,
It was on the hard compound tyre, and he decided to pit on lap 13, which was very strange. Obviously, the safety car then came out 2 laps later, and obviously you really capitalised on that. But the battle in between you two, and you keeping it ahead, and what we did notice in the comms box was how good your ERS saving was today. Was that crucial? Was that the decider there?
Possibly. Although his attack was so much, like I was under pressure the entire last lap. It was. I still have adrenaline going through me right now. It's great.
Yeah, just as much as we did in the comms box. We're still shaking with adrenaline, and that last-ditch attempt there from Robbie, trying to take it to the inside. You defended well, and then you went back onto the race line. It was so close between you boys, and we just were clenching our fingers together, hoping you didn't take each other out. But it was great racing, and once again, mate, you must be so thrilled with taking that P1 today.
I'm so happy. Honestly, it's great taking the first win for the season. So
yeah, and you not only did you take the first win, you also showed Robbie, our last year's champion, that you're here to stay and here to battle with him, which is fantastic. So congratulations, Hemi. You are our race winner here for the round 1. Well done, mate. Just well done. Brilliant.
thanks, thank you. Wow.
So guys, it looks like it. We don't have Robbie. We're hoping for Robbie to come in for a chat with us, but he hasn't joined. But at least we got our race winner. I would just like to say, me and Chappers, to congratulate him on that win, and what an exciting race that was. Remember, we're going to be back here again next week for round 2. And if there's anything to go by, we're in for an absolute fantastic race. I've been your commentator, Paddy Pat, joined here by the amazing Chappers. Give us a roundup, Chappers. Nope, he's gone again. Well, thank you very much, guys. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, God bless.